Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Motivational Monday. My name is Kira. I am your host, and I'm really excited for today's episode. I got to dive into the science of laughter as a whole, and I feel like I've already been a fan of laughter. I've already been a fan of play. I've already been that adult who knows how to laugh and play. But finding out the science of it and how good it is for us has been really cool. And also what makes us laugh while other people are laughing. There's a lot. So we're going to talk a little bit. Well, I have a few questions for you before we dive in. And then we'll talk a little bit, and then we have a video to watch, and then we'll talk a little bit, and then we have another video to watch, and then we'll be at the end of our Motivational Monday. So, I think the first question I want to ask you is drop 111 in the chat if you have already laughed today. Tell me, share. I'm so curious. Let's see. Cute. We have a couple of people who have already laughed today. I love that. And let's see here. Yeah, a few of you have already laughed today. Beautiful. Next question is on a scale, let's do on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the least important, 5 being the most important. How important is laughter to you? I might have to get my dog in a second. I feel him. Oh, I hear him too. Oh, Mac. Okay. Beautiful. A lot of fives. We have one person at 3. I'm a 5. I'm a 5. Like, I won't even date anyone if they're not funny. If they're not funny, we just won't work. If I can't laugh with my friends, we won't be friends. If I can't have fun in my work environment, I won't work in that environment. It's really important to me, and it's fun because we get to learn why in our bodies it's so important. I have another question for you. How often, I know some of you already laughed today, but how often do you laugh? Maybe you're gonna say a couple times a day. Maybe you don't really laugh that much at all. Maybe you're laughing all of the time. And it's interesting. I've been learning so much about so many things. I've been learning about trauma in the body, how it freezes our body, how it makes us not able to feel things. So there are some of us who genuinely don't laugh and don't feel things. We've been through hard things in our lives that we never really fully processed, and we didn't have the tools, and our society doesn't give us the tools. And therefore, we kind of go numb in our lives too. So if that's something that you're going through, you don't have to be ashamed for any way that you naturally operate. I think the greatest thing that we can do is acknowledge where we actually are and then give ourselves permission to grow beyond that, right? So let's see. Hourly, all the time, several times a day, once a day, maybe, every day, multiple times a day. I make lots of jokes. I'd rather laugh than cry. I know I have a lot of really funny friends who use their humor to mask how they actually feel. And that's a real thing too. This human experience is so multifaceted, so deeply layered. But even Matthew Perry, who was Chandler in Friends, he always used laughter as a way to shield like all of the pain that was happening in him. So I'm not saying that's you, but I know that I've done that too, where I have avoided vulnerability significantly. All the time in this life, we're either laughing or crying. I choose to laugh most of the time, often throughout the day. Beautiful. I love it. Well, I'm really excited. Thank you all for your feedback. Let me see if I have any other questions. Oh, okay. I have a couple other questions. Ha ha ha. Do you, and this can be a yes or no question, or it can be something in between, do you feel like you know how to play and have fun? Yes or no, or maybe, or what does that mean, Kira? How do you play and have fun? I'm not a child. All of the above works. Trust me. Let's see. I am an RBT. I get paid to play. I don't know what an RBT is, but I like that. I want to get paid to play. I mean, I get paid to host this and have these conversations with you, and this is really fun for me. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'm wearing my Being Yourself is Cool shirt today, and then it has all these affirmations on the back. Vibes. Let's see. For the most part, I think I'm a little serious at times as well. I notice times when I get like way too serious and I'm like, yo, Kira, you gotta chill out. Okay, last question that I have for you. Are you mostly stressed throughout your days, and do you forget to enjoy the moment? You can say yes, you can say no, you can say a little bit of all of the above. Oh, that's really cool, Clovis. No, I'll break out into a musical number. Same. Okay. Some of you are saying that you're mostly stressed. Some of you are saying sometimes. Aw, some of you are saying that you've changed that. Catherine goes, geez, I want to say no, but I feel like my body is telling me I'm a little stressed. Valid. One of the things that we do as humans as a response to the stresses around us is we try to deny things sometimes. And the more that we deny things, the less that we feel things. So the more that we can be like, if you choose to not feel your stress while you're stressed, then you're also simultaneously choosing not to feel happiness when you're happy. And we don't get to turn on and off that denial, and we don't get to turn on and off that ability to really feel what we're feeling. So these are always really important conversations. And thank you all for being vulnerable and sharing. Okay, so we're talking about the healing power of laughter today. And last week we talked about the healing power of dance. We've talked about the healing power of music. We've gone in. I think next week we might be talking about the healing power of sleep. And we're not going to go in deeply because that's a large conversation that has to be had. But during last week's Being Human First session, which is our larger monthly event that we have virtually, where I'm helping with our guide and the rest of our community teach you how to stop operating in the societal programs that have taught us to be a machine and to just produce and forget that we're humans who have basic needs, and teaching you how to come more into your own sense of internal satisfaction and your own level of enjoyment. So I have the recording of session 1. I'm dropping it in the chat for you now. And I have the recording of session 2. I'm also going to drop that in the chat for you. If it sounds like something that would be beneficial for you, I would highly suggest listening to it. It would be beneficial for me. It is beneficial for me. It's why I'm having these conversations. But the fun part is this week we have our live group mentoring session. So it's me and one of our guides, Raquel, in a meeting room where your face will actually be able to be seen and your voices will actually be able to be heard. And we'll be helping you learn how to thrive through self-care and prioritize yourself on the deeper internal self-care levels. So with that, for some of you who may be realizing, like, oh, I'm really stressed. Oh, I work too much. Oh my gosh, I'm a workaholic. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to enjoy my life. Or where you're like, I've been working on a lot of these things, but I would love to get better. Or you're just like, yeah, I'd love to be in a room with Kira and a cool guide having a cool conversation. Then join us. I'll be making a worksheet later on today that we'll be using in that session as well. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, last month when we did our live mentoring session, we actually had someone cry. She was like, she was just so stressed at work and she created it all in her own head. And she's like, I feel like if I don't do everything, I'll get fired. And I don't know why I feel like that. And I know that I'm a great employee and I know that I'm valuable, but there's just this part of me. And we had a really deep conversation and it was so beautiful and so vulnerable. The sessions are not posted anywhere. They do get recorded so that I can go back and have access to all of the things. But outside of that, they're not posted or shared. So it's a safe space and we would love to have you. And without further ado, we have laughter to talk about. So I did just drop the registration link for this week's session. It's Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I would love to see you there. We only get 12 times a year for these live mentoring sessions. So if you can make it, I would highly suggest being there. So with all of that, have you ever heard the statement, laughter is the strongest medicine, or laughter is the world's best medicine? There was this doctor, I believe it was either in the 40s or the 60s. He was diagnosed with a degenerative disease, and he had already had the thought that laughter is the best medicine. And he decided, okay, well, I'm going to actually test it out. So he watched like his favorite comedies and sitcoms or whatever they were watching back in the 40s and 60s. And he actually healed from his disease by watching comedies. And just 10 minutes of belly laughter a day made him able to sleep for 2 hours. That's incredible. So, some other things that happen when we are laughing is that we produce, remember, we talked about our daily dose of happiness hormones? We produce endorphins and serotonin when we are laughing. So, endorphins are the hormone that makes you more resilient to pain. And it turns off your pain receptors in a healthy way, and it makes you happier and more resilient and less stressed and more focused, right? And then I forget what serotonin is. I don't know why I'm forgetting, but we're going to see what it is. So, yeah, serotonin is the feel good neurotransmitter, and it contributes to feelings of well being, happiness, and relaxation. And it actually helps you regulate your sleep cycles and promotes restful sleep as well. So, serotonin is really, really, really important as well as endorphins. So, both of those are getting produced while you're laughing. It can also reduce inflammation. Laughter has so many incredible benefits for the body. And when we're looking at reduced inflammation, we're looking at less pain in our body. For people who have arthritis, we're looking at potentially less arthritis. There are a lot of diseases that are caused by inflammation. Even inflammation of the brain can turn into migraines, right? But laughter also boosts happiness. It alleviates depression. It reduces blood pressure, which this one reducing blood pressure and increasing blood circulation are so important because the number one killer in our country is cardiovascular disease, heart disease, heart attacks, right? So if we're laughing more and we're making that a priority and we're less stressed and we're producing serotonin and we're producing those endorphins and we're putting our body in a state of ease and in a state of enjoyment, then we're making ourselves less likely to have heart attacks, less likely to experience all of these challenges, right? So there's also the side. I love this side. This is why I love laughter as a whole. I feel like I'm always laughing. I feel like I was gifted the gift of laughter to pass on to others. But what's really cool is that laughter is a social emotion. So laughter is something that's done with others or yourself. I laugh at myself all the time. I'll be on the phone with my best friend and I'll say something ridiculous and I don't even just things come out of me sometimes and I'm like giggling at myself. I have no idea. And he's like not even laughing. He doesn't even necessarily think it's funny, but I think it's the funniest thing and I'm laughing at myself. But laughter is a social emotion. And what's really cool is that laughter actually breaks down social and societal barriers. So it makes conversation easier with new people. It unites groups of people together who don't even know each other. And it brings people together in a way where it's effortless. So it's something that makes us closer as a social species, and we're not meant to be alone. Our whole entire life is surrounded by others, and that's the way that mammals naturally work. We are a social species, and we are meant to laugh with others. So Jennifer says, I love that laughter is contagious. If I can't stop laughing, it makes my husband laugh too. Exactly. And I actually have a fun video that we're going to watch that's going to be really cool. So, the a little bit of the science behind that too is that we have something in our bodies called mirror neurons. And it's the reason why as a social species, we will see someone's facial expressions and body movements and we'll be able to understand what mood they're in. If someone's laughing, our neurons in our body that are firing off and telling us what to do, we will smile. If someone's laughing, we are so much more likely to smile. So we naturally imitate people. And hearing or watching someone laugh is likely to help us laugh. So that's the reason. And listen, this is like the brain science behind why sitcoms use laugh tracks, because it helps make you laugh. If you hear someone laugh, you are more likely to laugh. So they're already programming you to laugh more. And for those of you who laughter may not be something that you experience on a regular basis, laughter is trainable. So, with neuroplasticity, which is where our brain continues to develop and rewire, we are not a static being at all. We have the ability to constantly change and constantly grow. With neuroplasticity, our ability to do anything is always being shaped and reformed. So, if you want to laugh more, there are a couple of suggestions which we'll share after I share this video. And then, yeah, so I'm going to play this video for us.
Did you know that on average, children laugh around 300 times a day, while adults laugh only about 17 times a day? This huge difference highlights how laughter tends to diminish with age. Since childhood, we have heard that laughter is the best medicine. But have you ever wondered if this is truly the case? And if it is, why were we never taught the importance of laughter and its benefits? Welcome to Holistic Halo Vibes. In today's video, we will dive deep into the topic of laughter, the two main types of laughter, its importance for our physical and mental health, and why this simple act can have such profound effects on our well-being. If you think laughter is just a reaction to something funny, think again. Laughter is a powerful healing tool that can enhance both our physical and mental health in ways you might not expect. Let's face it, stress is a part of our lives. As we grow up, the society expects us to live a certain way. We all unknowingly are pushed into a rat race which ends up draining us. Competition to excel in this race. Family responsibilities and financial burdens only make our lives miserable. Most of us are sucked into this loop and we end up with chronic stress and inflammation. Prolonged chronic stress and inflammation are our ticket to physical and mental health issues. Obesity, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune disorders, and mental health issues like anxiety. Panic attacks and depression are common with chronic stress. We are quick to start medication and try everything possible to give us relief. But most of the time, we often overlook the simplest solution our body naturally provides us with: laughter. In a time when effective coping mechanisms are essential, it's crucial to rediscover the joy of laughing. So, what is laughter? Laughter is a complex and fascinating phenomenon that serves as both a physical reaction and an emotional expression. When you laugh, multiple areas in your brain are stimulated. For today's video, we will consider two main types of laughter. First, spontaneous or genuine laughter is the natural laughter in response to humor. Second, self-induced or stimulated laughter is created intentionally and might not necessarily be in response to humor. Here are 10 science-backed benefits of laughter you need to know. First up, cardiovascular function. Laughter helps dilate the blood vessels, thereby improving blood flow and increasing oxygen levels in the body, thus positively affecting cardiovascular functions. Also, regularly practicing laughter has been shown to help stabilize and lower blood pressure. Next up, immune system. Studies have shown that laughter improves the immune system by increasing the production of antibodies and stimulating the immune cell. This helps fight off infections, boosting our disease resistance. At 3, promotes relaxation. When we laugh, our body activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which triggers the body to relax and cope with stress. Next up at 4, muscle health. Laughter improves blood circulation, which helps the tensed muscles to relax, thereby boosting muscle health. At 5, relieves pain. Laughing triggers the body to release the hormone endorphins, our body's natural painkillers. Studies show that laughter has a significant role in improving pain tolerance. The hormone endorphins basically relieves pain by reducing the pain perception. Next at 6, decreased stress. The levels of the stress hormones known as cortisol reduce when we laugh, thus giving relief when suffering from stress and anxiety. At 7, mood regulation. Laughter helps boost the production of feel-good hormones like serotonin. Serotonin plays an important role in balancing sleep, mood, and cognitive function. Both serotonin and endorphins act as natural mood boosters, giving relief from symptoms of anxiety and depression. Next at 8, cognitive function. Studies show that laughing can significantly improve our memory, problem solving, and learning ability. At 9, social bond. Laughter helps increase our emotional connection, making us feel more connected to those around us. Whether it's with family, friends, or coworkers, laughter fosters a sense of belonging. In a world where we often feel isolated, laughter can be a powerful antidote. Finally, at 10, improves sleep. A Japanese study found that laughter therapy improved the sleep quality and symptoms of insomnia in the elderly community. Studies show that our brains can't distinguish between genuine and stimulated laughter. That means by stimulating laughter, we can reap all the positive benefits that we usually would have derived from genuine laughter. Now, you know why our ancestors referred to laughter as the best medicine. Let's take a moment and meet Norman Cousins, a journalist. In 1964, he was diagnosed with a painful degenerative disease. He discovered that watching comedies and laughing significantly reduced his pain levels. He was the first to study laughter and its role in the quality of life. He literally laughed his way out of this life threatening illness, using humor as a powerful healing tool. In conclusion, laughter is more than just a reaction, it's a powerful healing mechanism that improves our overall well being. From reducing stress hormones to enhancing immune function, the benefits are undeniable. By incorporating more laughter into our lives, we can combat stress and improve our physical and mental health. Remember, laughing is free medicine. Why not make it a part of our daily routine? People who laugh regularly tend to have a more positive outlook on life and are better able to cope with challenges and setbacks. So, let's make laughter a priority in our lives. Whether it's through watching a funny movie, sharing jokes with friends, or simply finding humor in everyday situations, let's embrace the healing power of laughter. Now it's your turn. Share your experiences with us and let us know how laughter has impacted you in the comments below. If you found this video helpful,
Well, that's a little bit about the science of laughter. And they said, I would have to look a little bit more into this, but they said the difference between spontaneous laughter and stimulated laughter, that the effects are shown to be the same on the brain, possibly. But the parts of our body that are actually triggered to do spontaneous laughter and triggered to do what was the word? Oh, stimulated laughter are different. So it literally triggers different parts of your body, but a lot of the times that stimulated laughter turns into spontaneous, natural laughter. So maybe that's why it has the same effects. But I loved watching that video. The thing that was most impactful for me, and I would love to know what part of that video was the most like interesting for you or the most impactful, but for me, it was how much kids laugh versus adults. And I see that. I see that in society. I feel like we live in a society that doesn't really teach us how to laugh or have fun. But I don't think I think that a lot of things that we've been told that adults do differently than children are just like a byproduct of our societal programming and not necessarily something that we need to take to heart, but it's something that we can actively change for ourselves and as a part of our journey. And for those of you who might be looking at developing more of a laughter routine in your life, there are a few things that you can do. One of the first things is making a list of comedy programs, series, or films that you've laughed at in the past, and you're determining which ones you want to add to your list to actually use throughout your days. You can make a list of comedians that you find funny. You can also keep an eye out for new comedy films or TV series. You can practice laughter yoga, taking a slow, deep breath, pulling a really big smile, and then let out a big laugh as you exhale. And it says do it 10 times a day, preferably in the morning, as it'll set you up for the day. The first couple of laughs will be pretend ones, but you'll soon find that they'll become more natural as you practice it. Try to see the funny side of life. Take a pen and paper and write out some of the funny things that have happened in your life. And find some photos, cards, or even comic strips that you find funny and stick them around the house where you see them every day. So, those are some really easy, really practical ways to start developing more of a laughter routine in your life. Life is perpetually funny. I agree. I'm always giggling at life. Always. I'm always like pleasantly surprised by life. I love watching funny movies to laugh. Watching movies with the children like Moana keeps me laughing. Oh, I agree. I used to be a significant like murder mystery person. I loved horror movies, but once I learned how that affects our body, how that creates stress in our body, all these other things, like I watch comedies or rom-coms. If I watch anything, I'm usually on the phone with my friends giggling or reading books, like giggling. I'm always reading a book and people are always like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "The book is so funny. It's so funny." I listen to the show Psych on replay throughout my day while working, cooking, cleaning, etc. Oh, that's really cool. I like stand-up comedy before bed. I just started getting into stand-up comedy. I love the B movies. They are so bad, they're funny. I don't know what movies those are, but I'm very intrigued. I'll look that up. Okay, so I have one final video for us, and then we are going to finish our Motivational Monday. And then hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday for our live mentoring session where we get to help you feel a little bit more human.
Stand by. Action.
So that is our laughter medicine. I know that's usually me too. I hope that made you laugh. I hope that you think about laughing a lot more this week. I hope you find more reasons to laugh this week. I hope you find more reasons to make other people laugh this week. It is always a joy and a pleasure being here with you. I hope to see you on Wednesday's live mentorship call. And outside of that, we will see you next week for the healing power of sleep, which is going to be a really cool, little bit more sciencey conversation. And yeah, have a funny week. Bye, everyone.